The angle that forms with the horizon is this angle right here. That's your angle of depression. So that angle there isn't in the triangle, so you can make some conclusions, but whenever they tell you the angle of depression, they're also telling you this angle here because those two angles are alternate interior. You remember those? So these are equal. So whenever you see angle of depression, put it on the triangle on the floor, the angle on the floor. Just put it on that triangle, angle on the floor, okay? Because it's the same thing. Because we're trying to solve the triangle, and the angle of depression is really outside of the triangle, so it doesn't really help you. The other way you can do it is these two angles here add up to what? Nope. 90. Look, they add up to 90. So you can also figure out what that top angle is. But well, I would just put it on the floor. Anytime you see an angle of depression, you put it on the floor. On the worksheet, they also referred to this as the angle that forms with the horizon, which is still that same green angle up at the top, but you would also put that on the floor. So if you see angle that forms with the horizon or angle of depression in any word problem, it's the angle on the floor. Does everybody understand that?
Yes.
So the angle that forms with the ground or the angle of elevation is also the angle on the ground. That's the angle of elevation. So guess what? If they tell you it's an angle that forms with the horizon, if they tell you it's the angle of depression, if they tell you it's the angle that forms with the ground, if they tell you it's the angle of elevation, it's still the one on the floor. So anytime they give you an angle like that, they're giving you the angle on the floor. Okay? So when you see that in a word problem, you don't have to ask me what that means. It's what that means. If it says a ladder is placed against a building, there's my building. I might put a little window in there just so you know it's the building. Okay? And then there's the ladder placed on the building. And then it might tell me the ladder is 10 feet from the wall and forms an angle on the ground of 54 degrees. How high up is the ladder? They want this on the wall. They want to know how high the ladder is on the wall. That's your picture. You see what I'm telling you? If it says a boy is flying a kite and it forms a 38-degree angle with the I think this is your first one, so I'm drawing it for you. 38 with the ground, and he lets out 300 feet of string. They want to know how high up is the kite. They want to know this side. So you have to look at the problem and say what you need. Now in this, you have opposite and hypotenuse. On this one, you have adjacent and opposite. So to solve it, you use tan on the first one and sine on the other one. You use your SOHCAHTOA to solve it, okay? So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take the first three problems, draw your picture, and set up what you think the ratio is to solve it. Put your X's in, and I'm going to come around and check that, and then you'll be on your way.